In this installment, we're going to be going over the Monday Night Football doubleheader we got going on. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Chef D, and I'm here to bring you the winning ingredients for our doubleheader Monday Night Football slate we got going on. But before we deep dive into that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MetsNetJetsD. Don't forget about that TikTok at Chef_D91, and don't forget about that Patreon. Right now, we're at the homepage of the YouTube channel, currently at 8.73,000 subscribers. This is the road to 10K, and we're well on our way because you guys are showing up each and every single day. If you're not subscribed, please get connected into the group. All right, if you're already subscribed, continue to like and comment because that helps the YouTube algorithm so we can grow to a much broader audience. All right, now for the Patreon here for Sunday, very mixed bag, up and down. Ravens came through and covered. Panthers, Cowboys, that just went over the 40. That had the under 43, went over the 43. Commanders did not cover late. That was crazy. They were up by 14 and some change. Commanders gave up that lead, wound up winning by a couple of points. They did not cover that spread. Bengals came through, dominated one. Lions did not come through. Eagles came through. So very up and down here for the upsets. We only got one of them. Dolphins didn't cover late. Colts didn't cover. And the Bucks came through with a big win and beat the Chargers. So we're going to bounce back here for this Monday slate. We're going to bounce back from this half good, half bad. We're going to sweep this Monday slate here. Let's get into it right now. If you want to sign up for the Patreon, that link is provided down below. If you want the daily bets, the future bets, and access to that group chat, because it's not just me. You go to that description down below, click that link, and get connected right now. First game of the doubleheader, we have an NFC North battle here. Minnesota Vikings here in US Bank Stadium, 11-2, going up against the Chicago Bears, 4-9. Always interesting when these two teams go against one another here. Looking at the current odds, Vikings are solidified home favorites, -350 on that money line with the comeback of the Bears at a +260. Point spread set at 7, and the total set at 43.5. All right, public bet percentage here. We have 95% of the bets, 96% of the money all over the Vikings. For the point spread, 76% of the bets, 78% of the money towards the Vikings to cover the 7. And for the total here, we have 84% of the bets, and then 52% of the money coming in on the under. So it's split here, public on the over. And then the sharps are on the under in this game of 43.5. So very interesting to see that there. Looking at the injury report for the Chicago Bears, they got a couple guys out. O-lineman Ryan Bates, he's going to be out. Jervon Dexter is going to be out. And backup running back Roshan Johnson is going to be out as well. There was positive news for DeAndre Swift, trending towards playing in this game. Questionable after 2 DNPs on Thursday and Friday. Got in the limited with his groin. So they're going to need him in this spot here. If there's no DeAndre Swift, and since they gave up Khalil Herbert, it would have to be up to some very mediocre running backs. Travis Homer would be one of them. And he's fine as well right now. He got in full practice on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Braxton Jones has a concussion. He's going to be out as well. Another lineman. So Bears are dealing with a lot of O-line issues here, going up against the Minnesota Vikings, who have been pretty hot as of late. Positive news, Stephon Gilmore, their veteran corner, he might be able to give it a go in this game here. Got in the limited practice on Saturday. Stay tuned to news on Monday morning if he's going to be fine for this game here. Everyone else, no issues. Harrison Smith got a DNP, but it was not injury related. It was rest. All right, so everyone's clean and clear here for the Chicago Bears and Vikings game. Bears just dealing with some O-line issues. All right. Looking at these two teams, Vikings, like I said, on a winning streak. This is a red hot team here. Jacksonville, Tennessee beat Chicago in November, late November, beat Arizona, beat and handled Atlanta. All right, Chicago Bears still struggling, trying to figure things out. They got rid of their coordinator, fired their coach, promoted their coordinator to head coach. A lot of turmoil here. But in that previous game against the Vikings and the Bears were able to take the Vikings to overtime, and you saw some positive notes from Caleb Williams. All right, so it's going to be very key if their coordinator, now coach, can tap into that yet again. What was successful in that game to give Caleb Williams confidence? All right, there's plenty of talent on this team here for the Chicago Bears for them to compete with the Minnesota Vikings. Plus the fact that this is an in-division matchup, things can get wild and crazy in division matchups, especially meeting on the second time. The opposite tends to happen. All right. So in this particular game here, they're going to obviously look at each other's, how they performed in that previous one, and adjust. So that's going to be very key here in this particular game. Chicago Bears are dying for some positive signs here after they struggled week after week, but they have been competitive in division games. Against Detroit, only lost by 3 points. Against Minnesota, only lost by 3 points. And against Green Bay, only lost by 1. So you're seeing a trend here. Obviously, this is a familiar opponent, and I expect the Bears to come correct in this game here. I think there's too much public side on the Minnesota Vikings thinking that they're going to go up against their division rival and absolutely blow them out the water. I think this game is going to be close here. Also looking at some of the numbers, just going off fantasy points allowed to opposing wide receivers, this is a very good matchup for Caleb. This is why he had success. This is why he had over 300 yards. Minnesota Vikings against opposing wide receivers are third worst in the league, giving around 33 fantasy points per game. Okay, so very, very good spot here for very talented wide receivers in DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, and Rome Odunze. All right, so if you're giving confidence to Caleb Williams, then this could be a very dangerous matchup, and that 7 looks very, very juicy. If we're looking at the rank against opposing quarterbacks, it's overall a little bit better here, 22nd overall. That's mainly because they are bend, don't break. They don't really allow the touchdowns. That's what's really bumping up a lot of these high points here for QBs, points per game, all right? So in this particular matchup here, second time around in division matchup, the +7 is speaking to me. All the value is here on the Chicago Bears in this second meeting, trying to get revenge back on that loss that they had just a few weeks ago. So it's going to be very important to see here how this Vikings team reacts at home, okay? So with all the public on the side of the Vikings, we're going to go with the Bears +7. Give me the points here in division matchup second meeting. And for the total of 43.5, I'm going to lean towards the under in this game here, all right? I think that the Bears can throw a little bit something, and there's going to be adjustments here from that matchup that's going to make this game go under that 43.5. Caleb Williams will have success because there's multiple wide receivers assets that he can throw to between Rome Odunze, DJ Moore, and Keenan Allen that will have good matchups against this secondary, all right? They saw something in that scheme of Brian Flores that was successful. I think they're going to find that, keep the game close, and the under will hit. In Allegiant Stadium here, we have the Las Vegas Raiders 2-11 going against the Atlanta Falcons 6-7 here. Looking at the current odds, road favorites Atlanta Falcons -250 on the money line with the comeback of the Raiders at a +195. Point spread set at 5.5. And the total set at 44.5. Public bet percentage here, 90% of the bets, 89% of the money all over the Falcons. And for the point spread, 93% of the bets and 72% of the money on the Falcons to cover the 5.5. For the total, 90% of the bets and 85% of the money towards the over 44 in this matchup here. All right, looking at the injury report here for the Raiders, big news, Max Crosby is going to be out for the rest of the season with a broken ankle. So their leader on that defensive side, they have lost him for the rest of the season. Their heartbeat, he's gone. All right, Adam Butler questionable. Sam Webb, cornerback, doubtful. Positive news only is Nate Hobbs might be back. He has been their bright spot at the cornerback position here, and Aiden O'Connell will most likely not play in this game. All right, 3 DNPs in a row, highly questionable, and they already said, Pierce already said that it's most likely that Desmond Ridder will get the start going up against his former team, all right, the team that drafted him. So this is a perfect scenario, absolutely perfect scenario here for this to work out, where you got you got Kirk Cousins, who has been struggling as of late, in a bounce back performance here. Hopefully he can do this, bounce back against the Las Vegas Raiders, and then Desmond Ridder getting the opportunity to go up against his former team that drafted him, and a little bit of, hey, you're missed out on this. She's trying to stick it to him in this one here. So Falcons, 4 games in a row, lost to Minnesota, Chargers, Denver, and the New Orleans Saints. Kirk Cousins has looked like a statue and has underperformed in each and every game. The thing is here, the Raiders defense is the medicine, and it also helps that their best pass rusher is out for the season. All right, so the opportunity is there. This is an absolute bounce back spot for Kirk Cousins. If we're looking at fantasy points allowed to opposing QBs, the Raiders are top 10. All right, top 10 is the best matchup, top 10 best matchup here for opposing QBs. All right, to go up against this secondary here in the Las Vegas Raiders. Add in the fact they got tons of injuries on the defense, and Max Crosby is out. Then this is another positive here on the side of the Atlanta Falcons in this offense. All right, so same thing on the other side. The Falcons struggle against opposing quarterbacks as well. This is actually a great matchup for Desmond Ridder. Looking at the Atlanta Falcons, they give up more fantasy points to opposing QBs here. 20 points per game to opposing QBs. You got motivation on his side to bounce back and obviously stick it to his former team. So we got a double narrative here. Both teams struggle against opposing quarterbacks, giving it up. Both of these teams have struggling secondaries. That's another key. Raiders are in a big losing streak here, so I love the back and forth aspect in this game. That 44.5 total, I am going to be going with the over 44.5. I say Kirk Cousins bounces back with 2 to 3 touchdown type of game, and then you have Desmond Ridder. He looked decent in the few snaps he had last week. He's going to be motivated here going against Atlanta. I expect him to have a solid performance against the Falcons in this one. Love the over 44.5. If you want to take the money line, I think the Falcons finally get things right, get off the schneid, off this 4-game loser streak, get the W. The question is the point spread. I can see this game, either team, well, not either team. I can see the Falcons winning by a touchdown, so I would lean towards the minus 5.5 of the Falcons, just because how bad the Raiders defense is, especially without Max Crosby. It's just another level, another avenue here for Kirk Cousins to really run up the score with his talent that he has on his team with Drake London, Kyle Pitts, Bijan Robinson, and Tyler Algier. All right, tons of guys here that can really go off for the Falcons, and this is a very good matchup for Kirk Cousins in this spot. So we're going with the Atlanta Falcons on the money line. Falcons to cover the 5.5 and give me the over on the 44.5 in this one. So those are going to be our selections for the doubleheader on Monday night. Let me know in that comment section down below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? We could definitely debate about that down below in the comment section. If you want to sign up for the plays, all right, you're getting access to daily bets, future bets, and access to that group chat that goes off 24/7. This your boy Chef D. I'll be back very soon. Peace out.